Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Metallips TV. Thank you so much for clicking on this interview. Today, we are lucky enough to have Oliver from Faun to talk about their new upcoming album, Hexe. First of all, can you introduce yourself and your band, please, for those who might not know you?
Yes, it's a pleasure. I'm Oliver. I'm the founder of Faun. We do folk music. We do pagan folk music. We mix it with electronics. We're all over the place, and we do this for since 24 years, so for a pretty long time. We're based in Germany, in Central Europe, and we just made this new album, Hex, and I'm very happy to talk about it.
You just said it, but your new album is named Hex. What does it mean exactly?
Hex is means witch actually, and we have in German we have Hexe. So this is the word for witch. But then it's nice because if you go into English, hex it's also a verb. It means to put some spell on somebody. So it's a lot about magic, but it's in particular this whole album is about witchcraft and witches.
How did you like interpret witchcraft in a way that avoid stereotypes or maybe what historical source shaped your vision about witchcraft?
The point is we have six people in the band writing music, so it's always too much, and it's good we have always a theme for an album, so we can say, hey, let's sort it out by theme and go deeper. And there, when we know it's gonna be the theme of witchcraft, like 3 years ago, we just got a lot of books, we're researching, we asked people in covens, witches, so went really deep into it because, like you said, we wanted to avoid the cliches,
Hmm.
like not the Harry Potter thing with a broomstick between your legs and
Yeah.
flying around, and also not the evil fairy tale witch, because this is the problem. People still believe the witch is the evil person there, and she's not, she's the healing woman, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's so interesting actually, because there's really a lot of stereotypes around witchcraft, and sometimes it can be a little like considered cringe to do music about witchcraft, and I love how you do it, really.
Thank you so much. It was important for us to like look for the real sources. For example, we have like from 1650, we have a witch trial where in northern England there was a witch put to witch trials, and they have an interrogation for 6 weeks. And every word she said was written down. So this gives us the possibility to have a look into the old folk magic of the 17th century in Scotland. And then we put the real words, the real magic spells that this witch said she had been using, we put this to music.
Oh, wow. Wow. Um, Faun is known for blending medieval instruments and very modern beats. How did you approach arranging the sound on this album to achieve that mystical blend of new and old?
For us, it's important to tell stories. And so sometimes, for example, we go into the north, we go into Scandinavia, have the little Viking approach on the topic. Sometimes we have the more Celtic approach and think, for example, of Arthur's Merlin and Nimue. And for example, if you go in the Celtic world, it's nice to have the Celtic lutes or more flutes. And if we go into the Viking world, it's more bowed instruments and more, a little lower sound. And if we tell a ballad, it's really nice to make the variation, to go from mystic, a harp, for example, then to go into bagpipes when some action happens. So this helps us to tell the stories. And of course, like the ears of our listeners are not the ears of medieval people anymore. So we are used, for example, to having a lot of bass in our music. And the old instruments, they don't have so much bass, for example. So it's really nice to mix it with electronic to have soundscapes, basses, and also some beats going with it.
All right. On this album, you have quite a few guests,
Mhm.
like Chelsea Wolfe, for example. How did you choose these artists, and how did you integrate their voices into your narrative?
Normally, when we have guests, we meet them in person, so it's really nice. You meet somebody, have a good connection, make some music. But in this case, for example, Chelsea Wolfe, unfortunately, we did never meet. But I really loved her latest album, and so I was listening the whole winter to it. And of course, when you work on your own songs and then you're free, and then you switch on some music and listen to her. So in my head, it was already very interwoven in a way. So then it made sense to just ask her. And because she is also really interested in topics like witchcraft and mythology. And so she's very experienced there. And so it was just fitting also because her vocals have this eerie, mysterious feeling that goes. And so it was perfect, her addition to our song, Nimue.
Yeah, I agree. The song is amazing. Um, Hex draws from different traditions like Germanic, Celtic, and a lot. How did you navigate weaving together these mythologies into a coherent experience in general?
That's a good question. Of course, coherent is because of our instruments. So this is the red line. It's you have the sound of Faun going through, but we thought it might have been too difficult, for example, to go for one whole album into England, Scotland, and talk about witchcraft there. So it wasn't planned like this. But what happened, we looked into different angles of the world, different perspectives, and it's like a red thread. It's like the theme of witches. We find them in, for example, if you go Scandinavia, if you go the Viking tradition, there was the Völva, or there was some kind of magic was only allowed to be done by females, called the Zider, the trance magic. And then we have this, and then we go to Old England and have the magic spell, for example, against being shot by witches against some diseases. And then we go into even into the Turkish world one time because a couple of years ago we played in Turkey, and then I had a really nice long breakfast in Istanbul with friends, and I asked them what's actually the old animistic paganistic religion here, and then they explained me about Tengrism. Like Tengri is the highest god there, and it's very similar to Thor in the Nordic pantheon, like the Vikings, and it's also they write in runes and something. And so we went into this old animistic religion and sing a song about Umai, the Earth Mother. And so this is really nice. We have all these different images of strong women, of magical women, of witches, and all together it hopefully it gives a good image that is even not the cliche of the bad fairy tale witch, but of healing woman and old traditions that we miss. I think it's still not talked enough about in this modern world.
Yeah, you're totally right. With I think you guys released 8 albums before Hex.
I forgot counting. I think it's more than 10, but there's also live album
Yeah,
something. And
including the live.
exactly, exactly. I think 11 maybe. I should have been counted actually.
All right. So my question was, how does Hex reflect your growth as artist? Like, are there any new artistic risks, or experiments that mark a turning point, maybe?
Um, I think the turning point was if somebody knows a little the history of Faun, we've started as a very independent band, no label, no nothing, did for 10 years everything ourselves. And then we had the big possibility, like Universal Music came, the biggest label in the world,
Yeah.
said, we like you, we want to take you. But Universal came together with the two biggest TV stations in Germany. And we had a big contract, so we were running on TV the whole time. And this helped us so much to become really big in Germany. And we took the opportunity, we said yes, but also there were so many compromises we need to do because before we've been an independent band, just
Yeah.
being in nature, having our jams, writing our own songs. And then we were in big meetings room with all the big businessmen of TV stations, of the label, and different studios we were traveling. So it was really difficult for us. It was a really nice experience and we learned a lot, but it was also difficult to find a compromise to
Yeah.
make the music we really want to do, we feel, and what the label wants and the TV wants. And so this we did. We had a long contract. We did this for 4 or 5 albums.
Mhm.
But this ended in 2000, I think 2020, 2021, it ended. And then we did our first album totally on our own. We started our own label. And this we did like 3 years ago. And this was called Pagan.
Yeah.
And this we're very happy because this was a big success and this was very important for us because would the people still like us if we do our crazy pagan music again? Would just only a few people listen to it? But so this was a big success. And so after pagan, it was easy for us because hey, we said we want to keep making the music what we do. We want to keep making music like the album Pagan. And so it's very similar to Pagan, but I have to say Pagan, it's a little more, I think Hexe is a little darker because if you go into witchcraft, it's a very gloomy, very, very dark album. So I think this is maybe the biggest difference because some of the material, some of the songs, it's really dark stuff. And then you cannot make a happy melody if you sing really dark stuff.
Yeah, this was kind of my next question, but do you think releasing Hex on your own label made you more free, actually?
It makes us much more free. Like, of course, sometimes you do not see, you have only the inside perspective. So it's really good sometimes to have somebody from outside say, do you think this is a good idea? But we are very democratic in the band. And since we have 6 people, we only release a song when everybody says this is perfect how it is.
Yeah.
And so this is why it also took 3 years. We said, no, we do not want 1 year. We a lot of time. We want to make it really right.
All right. I feel like you guys are very close to your audience. Actually, I've seen you live and I've met you, and it seems like you are very, very close to your audience. Is this something that is important for you?
It is. I think we are always a live band. We started
Yeah.
playing live music on medieval markets. When we started, we had no stage. We're standing in the market, in between the people, and just singing. Or for people who were having food in medieval restaurants, and there we started playing. So I think this is so nice that we are basically a live band.
Yeah.
Although we use electronics, and this helps us. And it's also important to have the connection to the audience. For example, many times we have an old song, it's called Walpurgisnacht, that means Beltane. And at one point I started as a joke, I said, and this is a song for all the witches here. And then wherever we play, Brazil, Italy, Germany, wherever we play, it's everybody, yes, it's a big scream. And I had the feeling, wow, people really have a strong feeling for witchcraft. And many people understand themselves as witches. So I thought, okay, this is a topic that is really, it has a lot of energy. So I thought, I think witchcraft is a nice idea to dive deep.
So this is going to be my last question, and it's something I always ask. What can we wish phone for the future?
Thank you so much for asking. It's, for example, this album, because we put all our heart into it, we hope it's a big success. And also, the album comes out on the 5th of September. And only 3 weeks later, 19th September, we start a big tour. And this is for us also, it's very personal because you did something 3 years, you were sitting in your studio making something, and then to bring it out to the world, play the new songs. And especially because the songs are very mystic, very dark. So it's going to be very personal. And we're a little nervous there, but we're also really looking forward to play that one live. And we got all over Europe. And I hope that this tour is a big success because it's very important for us also.
Fingers crossed.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for answering my questions. For those who are watching, don't forget Hex coming out 5th of September. And don't hesitate to catch these guys live and see you around. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye.